I set myself a challenge. I learned painting portrait in just 4 days, and in this video I'll share my entire process of learning. I'm joining a workshop where I'll learn to paint using only 3 colors: red, blue and yellow. Before starting, let me tell you that this is not the first time I'm using acrylic painting. I've tried making a portrait before, but it did not go well. Also, mixing color has always been a problem for me, so I hope this workshop will help me improve in that. Let's get started. One of the workshops started with freehand portrait sketching. Before jumping into full portraits, we focused on building structure of the face, and for that I used the Loomis method. Loomis method is a simple way to break down the head into basic shapes, making it easier to get proportions right. After practicing this Loomis method, it was time to sketch a full portrait freehand. No grid and no measurements, just with my eyes and my pencil. I am making this using a reference, and there are definitely things I need to improve, but after around half an hour of work, this is what I ended up with. This is me just rambling about the incomplete hairline, and with that we end day 1. Day 2 started with something new. Today, for the first time, I used ball pen to try values on regular shapes. I've been sketching for a while now and I know quite a bit about values, so maybe this was a good exercise to learn hatching. I'll show you how it looks. This arrow represents a source of light, and in this sphere, this is the highlighted area. The middle portion shadow is called the rigid shadow, and the lower portion is the reflected light, because when light falls on an object, small portion is reflected. This is the cast shadow of the sphere. And similar goes with this cube as well. Challenge of painting with 3 colors. The exact shade of red, blue and yellow will be shown on the screen. I started with something simple, painting lips from the reference. Mixing color has always been tricky for me, so this was a test to see if I could match the right shade. The goal was to understand color values and how to create different skin tone only with primary colors. Getting the right balance of red and blue for shadow and making sure it looks natural. It was far from perfect, but I was surprised by how much I could do with just 3 colors, so I kept on experimenting. I tried painting this tomato to practice value. Before jumping into painting, I start by making grid lines. This helps keep the proportion accurate so that my sketch matches the reference. It's a simple but effective technique, especially for portraits. Once the grid was ready, I lightly sketched the outline. This is how it looks like. Since I'd be painting over it, I keep the lines soft, just enough to guide me through the process. Then I use a kneaded eraser to lighten the hard lines. This way, the pencil marks don't show through the paint and the sketch blends smoothly into the layer of color. Mix adequate proportion of red, blue and yellow to create as much black as I can. We are taught to first fill in the darker areas and slowly move towards the lighter part. I was slowly building up the portrait layer by layer, but I ran into a problem. My camera battery died and I could not film the entire process. I'll be back on day 4 to show how this painting looks. Today is day 4, the final workshop session and the feedback day. It is more about talking and discussion rather than actively doing the painting. So let me show you how my day 3 work looks. The workshop really pushed me out of my comfort zone. While mixing colors and brushstroke improved, I overlooked something basic, proportions. And the features quite don't match up. Let me show you. I can't unsee this right now. Overall, I'm happy that I took this challenge. See you on the next one.